Hey guys, it's Meyer Thoughts, and this video will be about my Predator Pistol Splat. It's the pistol I used for pistol rounds in the Southeast Wars, and it has allowed me to do very well in the pistol splat, the pistol rounds we play. In the Southeast, we like to play wingman rounds, which are generally teams of 2, and again, we have about 14 people, I guess, who show up, so you have 6 or 7 teams running around the field, and it is very common for my team to do very well and even to win these pistol rounds, and this pistol splat is what allows me to do it. Now, the big thing is that there are a couple different kinds of splats. They have tiers, and they have tier 1, 2, and 3. And tier 1 is the best, tier 3 being the worst. Tier 1 are things like the original black splat, which unfortunately I've never owned. There's also, I can't remember, I want to say it's called a Patriot Splat, which is red and has like blue. Get out of here.
Swords!
Yeah.
Swords win pistol rounds.
Yeah, but you usually die. Get out of here. Anyway. And breaking my stuff. Anyway. The black splat and the Patriot Splat are a tier 1. Tier 2 are things like this Predator Splat. There's also a blue splat. And then tier 3 are like the white out chalk blasters, the white and purple ones, and there's a couple other that just aren't as good. Which makes it so interesting because with this particular splat, I've managed to squeeze 90 feet out of it. If you don't know, 90 feet is what is expected with basic level mods, basically a CPVC coupler and barrel, with a black splat. So that's very impressive. Originally I thought that the reason it got that range was because it was a tier 1 spring. Well, I thought that forever and ever, and I was talking to people because almost no one has this particular version, so not a lot's known about it. But it turns out that it is actually, maybe it's a little bit stronger than a tier 2 spring, but it's not a tier 1 spring. And the way I know that is I've done the same mods to a blue splat, which is known to be a tier 2, and I got 80 to 85 out of that one. So that's what tells me that if I had a black splat, maybe I could even get 100. Anyway, this particular splat is interesting because I don't do them the way most people do them. I replace the plunger head, which I feel is necessary because without it, you don't get a great seal. You can almost see it in there. The other big thing that I do is the way I attach the coupler, which just, as you can see, allows for a very large amount of airflow. And even though I use a whole CPVC coupler, the dead space is mitigated by the extra airflow, which is very important because the plunger tube of a splat isn't very large as opposed to, say, a night finder. It's smaller, and the reason it works better is the spring is so tough, which again is all made possible by this mechanical advantage lever system, which is just the best system around, at least in pistol technology. Now I'm going to do a firing test, same way I do it every time. I have the speed loader. This speed loader has 7-inch barrels, which is generally considered to be very long, but this pistol splat has enough power that it can easily take advantage of it. I've already loaded 2 darts. I'm going to go ahead and load a 3rd one as I set up the camera for French Green Lantern. Now I'm going to prime the pistol splat, which is just as easy as doing that and then closing it again. The reason you have to close it again is because there's a lock which prevents it from firing unless the lever is fully closed, which is nice because if it didn't do that, then you would lose power when the handle suddenly closed with firing, and God forbid your hand's in an awkward place because then you're having a nice bruise on your hand. Anyway, this unfortunately needs a little bit of a tune-up, but its seal is still pretty good, so I don't think it would quite hit 90, maybe 95 right now. I think we're looking at 85 and 90 at the tops, but it'll give you a good idea of kind of what the power is. So this is the first shot, right in the neck. the great advantage of these pistol splats is that I missed that one. I'll have to load another dart. But the great advantage is they're so much easier. The force required is so much less than even a well-modded Night Finder, even though the spring is so strong. So you have a much higher rate of fire than just about anything else on the field. Plus, you have a bunch of range. Now, for the last shot, I'm going to zoom in. Now, you may be asking yourself if the Pistol Splat has any downsides, and I guess the one of them is that it's kind of a rare blaster nowadays. Because they were originally paintball pistols, everyone's kind of figured out that, hey, maybe they're not the best for that, so they're not really around anymore. That's one disadvantage. The other disadvantage is the way that I do them. The plunger tube free rotates, which I glue it down, but every once in a while it comes loose. It started to do that now, and it's a pain in the ass when it does that. It's still usable, but it makes it feel unsteady when you're removing the coupler, especially in a war situation. And if the Pistol Splat had any downside, that's what it would be. Anyway, this is going to be the third and final shot. I guess fourth shot, technically. And you can see there, again, it hit him. I'm not going to really show you guys how much it did because it's not super powerful. I doubt if it's added any real scars. Anyway, that is the Predator Pistol Splat. I know in the last video I asked if you guys wanted to see tutorials. I'm kind of torn on doing a tutorial on this specific blaster. A, because I don't have another one, and then B, because I kind of like having the secret to myself. But maybe one day. Thanks for watching.